Hey ho! I'm drinking Treehouse's Human Condition Extra Coconut. So, Treehouse does a bunch of their stouts with just some of the additions, the flavoring additions, amplified. They do a lot of that stuff on tap, but then sometimes they can it. So, Human Condition is a stout with caramel chocolate, and then with this one, they added an extra amount of coconut. And I guess that's the only difference. It has lactose too. So it's a milk stout with caramel, chocolate, and more coconut than they usually use. It's 7.9% alcohol, came out recently, and I've really enjoyed their sort of extra stouts, like where they add more stuff to it, and they're still filling these very full. And this is very dark, so I don't want to stain my clothes, but let's get into it. I'm a big fan of coconut. It's a little bit controversial, but I feel like it shouldn't be. I guess some people just don't like coconut much, or they think it tastes very suntan lotiony. I've never even actually noticed that. There you go. Very dark. The head does not turn into a thick two-toned creamy head, unfortunately. It's a substantial head, but doesn't look as good as Treehouse heads have in the past for me. Very, very dark beer. And yep, there is coconut in there, but there's lots of other stuff. It's not just an explosion of coconut in your face. This might be a little bit too cold right now, too. It smells very, very, very good. And it's not... The chocolate and caramel is really adding stuff to it. No coffee in this one. A lot of the Treehouse, and a lot of pastry stouts in general, they throw coffee in there, but there's no coffee in this, which is kind of nice to have just the rich candy notes in there. Yeah, it smells delicious. And the coconut is not suntan lotion. It doesn't smell artificial. It just smells like a really fancy chocolate from a fancy chocolate box. I guess you call them, yeah. A box of chocolates. And definitely dark chocolate, but plenty sweet. Yep, the lactose in there is helping out quite a bit. And there's no vanilla. That would really kind of push the whole candy thing forward, but it doesn't really need it. Especially with the extra coconut. Like, I don't know, it's not blasting coconut in my face. Last year they made their peanut butter chocolate stout, Hold On to Sunshine, with extra peanut butter and I think extra chocolate, and that was like really good. Had a nicer head and stuff. This one kind of looks like their standard head these days. It's very nice, but it doesn't have like the rich, super silky feel. It's a little bit bubbly, but still very nice and quite drinkable for the strength and sweetness. And it lingers with a really nice toasted coconut flavor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, they definitely use a lot of real coconut in here. Yeah, extra massive charge of toasted coconut is what they say. And that's the biggest lingering flavor. So even though it doesn't smell like that, I mean it does, but it's really it's the dominant flavor when you get to the end of the beer. Mm. Yeah, that's very nice, but right on the tongue, it's not all coconut. It's stout. It's dark flavors. It's dark sweet. It's caramelized flavors. But then, about a few seconds after you swallow, coconut and lots of it. Yeah, this is really nice. And the feel is quite nice. It's got a chew to it. You have to push your tongue through it, and like you can feel the weight of it. We still got a cap of foam on there. Mm. But the aftertaste, and when you lick your lips, just has this candy sweetness that nails the pastry stout thing. And they do it at 7.9 in a way that most breweries try to do at 11, 12%. And it's fantastic. There's a hint of bitterness, a hint of roast, but not really much in the way of like a real stout, roasty, bitter thing experience. It's not smoky at all. It's not there's no molasses. There's nothing like that. It's all about the candy notes, and they must use some really dark malts to get the color, but they might maybe like de-bittered black malts that can get you the color and some of that dark flavor, but they don't add the bitterness. Because roasted barley, when you roast something, it gets bitterness. That's just the way it works. But maltsters have figured out how to make roasted black dark malts and barleys and have them not be super bitter. And that's kind of what's going on with this one. I'm not sure if the chocolate addition is like making the beer darker. I'm not sure how that works. I'd be interested actually in how a lot of brewers actually use chocolate in their beer and the color and feel. Because a lot of times I've had some chocolate beers where it adds some bitterness to it and some oiliness, and that's actually nice in this beer. There's a little bit of like the bitterness when you have a really fancy chocolate. It kind of sticks on your tongue. It's a tannic bitterness. There's a little bit of that. No hop bitterness, like no hop character at all. But there's some of that tannic bitterness that works. And it is, now I'm having a lingering, fancy, fruity, dark chocolate flavor on my tongue, along with the coconut, and it's very nice. Mm. Yeah, very good. But you got to drink the stuff very, very fresh. I think I had at Treehouse this extra chocolate, extra peanut butter stout like last year, several months after they brewed it, and it had lost that. It lost the cool body it had. I feel like this one doesn't have a more interesting, thicker body or head than the regular human condition. It's definitely more coconut, but their extra peanut butter hold on to the sunshine had that. It was kind of a special beer, and this one doesn't really have that special head and feel in a way. And when I had that one on tap, the hold on sunshine extra peanut butter, it had lost that after a few months. So this is a rambling review, but this is very good. It's 4.5. Bye.